I'm going to try to keep this under an hour here. So just confirm you can see my screen.
Yes, I can.
Perfect. Okay. All right. So welcome to the Modern Aromatherapist. And this is a segue into my certification course. And my certification course is all about learning how to become a certified aromatherapist and harnessing the power of essential oils. So. All right. So just a little bit about myself. So my name is Maria. I am a holistic practitioner, energy healer, and educator. So I started with reflexology and Reiki, I'm going to say 2012. And so I am a member of the Canadian Federation of, RAC, which is the Canadian Association for Reflexology, one of the larger ones here in Canada. I'm a Reiki master, so I do Reiki in my practice, but I also teach that as well. And in 2017, I became certified as an aromatherapist, so both a clinical and a holistic aromatherapist. And I do have my designation, which is a certified aromatherapy health professional, and that is through the Canadian Federation of Aromatherapists here in Canada. I am also a level 3 NAHA certified clinical aromatherapist. And NAHA is the National Association for Holistic Aromatherapy, and they're a national association, but they are based in the United States. So since 2017, I have approximately, I was trying to count how many hours I have, but I probably have over 1,500 hours in aromatherapy education. And when I got certified, or shortly after I got certified, my interest in teaching, because I started doing some small workshops, but my interest in teaching grew, and I apprenticed with my instructor for 2 years. And then submitted an application with the Canadian Federation of Aromatherapists to get my curriculum approved, and so that I could become a recognized school with them. So that's where I am today. So I have both a holistic practice and my school. So I love seeing people one-on-one or in groups, but I also love to teach. So that's just me in a nutshell, very quickly. Okay, so my question earlier was, are you using essential oils today? You are, so that's fantastic. And if you are here in my workshop, it is probably because you are already helping people or want to start helping people, either personally or professionally in some capacity. And it may be on an individual basis, or it could be in groups, or even both. So as we know, essential oils can be used to improve mental and physical health. You know, we can support stressful days, sleepless nights, headaches, digestive issues, and a lot more than that. So I'm going to ask you to stop right now just for a moment. And I'd like you to take your bottle of lavender essential oil, if you have that with you, and I ask you to bring a piece of paper and scissors. So what I would like you to do is just cut like a strip across your piece of paper. What we're going to make is a blotting paper. And so a blotting paper is used to smell essential oils properly if you want to get a good sense of what an essential oil smells like. So I've got my piece of paper here. I'm going to fold it. I'm going to try folding mine 3 ways, like in 3, and then so I get a strip like that. Hopefully you can still see me as I'm demonstrating here. And if you like, I like to fold that in half afterwards. It doesn't really matter what it looks like. The intent is just to get your piece of paper thicker, so that when you drop your essential oil, it doesn't run through along the whole piece of paper that you have. It just stays within that relative tip part. So then you can take your essential oil and just simply add 1 drop. 1 drop is usually sufficient for this exercise. Okay. Oops, sorry about that. So a lot of people they kind of waft the scent to their nose. And sometimes that can be a little bit overwhelming for our sense of smell. So what I usually ask people to do is draft instead of wafting. So little small snurfs as compared to like 1 long inhalation. So take your time. And usually lavender may not be new to you. I just chose lavender because I would imagine that most people would have lavender on hand. So if you're working with a new essential oil or one that you haven't smelt in a while, I usually make a connection between the essential oil and my brain. So to do that, you look at the bottle, you repeat the name of the essential oil. You can say it in your head or you can say it out loud. It doesn't really matter, but you say the essential oil in your head as you're gently drafting the scent under your nose, and you can move it back and forth and just take small snurfs. I call them snurfs. Okay, so this is to connect the nose to the brain via the limbic system. So I'm not going to go into the actual smelling apparatus of our nose, but just so you know, the left nostril picks up the scent and the right nostril picks up intensity. So you may gently close off the right side of your nostrils as you're breathing in through your left nostril to pick up the actual scent. And then you can do the opposite nostril if you want as well to pick up the intensity. So on your piece of paper, what I usually invite people to do is take notes as they're taking in the essential oil that they have, that they're working with, and just take notes. How does it make you feel? Where do you feel it? Do you feel it in your head? Do you feel it in your throat, your chest, in your stomach area? Is the scent sharp? Is it delicate? Is it pungent? Whatever you feel, there's no right or wrong answer here. It's basically what you your impression of it. And as we go throughout the slideshow today, or the webinar today, I invite you to pick up your little swatch of lavender essential oil throughout, because you will notice that the scent of the essential oil will change over time. So depending on what you're working with, lavender usually tends to mellow out and kind of even out in its scent for me. Other ones may get more pungent, stronger, and other ones are very volatile and will disperse quite easily. So that's just a little tidbit of information there. So, all right, so I'll get back to my presentation. So I'm just going to start with a couple of stats. So the essential oil industry it's been growing in the last few years, last 5 to 7 years, it's been growing a lot. In 2018, the essential oil industry produced $7.5 billion. And that number is projected to grow to $15 billion by the time 2026. So we know the industry is booming. So this is great news for all of us. It means that there is a market, there is growth, and there is lots of potential. And aromatherapy, if you're not familiar with it, it actually does provide an endless amount of possibilities. And the difference it can make in somebody's life or people's lives is pretty amazing to witness. So this is a great time to incorporate aromatherapy. So one of my missions is to educate through my school. My vision is to see educated practitioners or users of essential oils with real education, and real knowledge, who are aware and care about conservation and sustainability. As the market grows, we need to be smart in order to sustain the use of essential oils and conserve it so that we have it beyond 2026. We don't want to use up all of the plant material. And I want to see more people in the industry making a real tangible difference that is, taken very seriously and that actually shows results. I want to see aromatherapy grow in our Canadian hospitals, even worldwide. I know in other countries, aromatherapy has already started. People have already started using aromatherapy in hospice care or hospitals. But I want to see it grow here in Canada because it hasn't made that shift yet. So in the hospitals, in palliative, in long-term care, for mental health, there's a lot of areas here that has a lot of potential. So I want to see that I want to see our industry grow into those sectors. And I want to continue to see healthcare, all over the world shift towards more complementary therapies, which we're starting to see, but let's see if we can get that going a little bit more. So what is aromatherapy? And this is just, a very high level definition of aromatherapy. It is basically an art. I think, I think anybody who touches and uses essential oils eventually comes to the same conclusion that it is an art. But the technical definition of aromatherapy, it's also referred to essential oil therapy. It can be defined as the art and science of using essential oils which are aromatic extracts from plants to balance, harmonize, and promote health of body, mind, and spirits. But if you take a look around on the internet or in textbooks, there are many definitions of aromatherapy, and some of them are quite lovely. These are two that I just chose for today's presentation that I thought were a really nice way to describe what aromatherapy is. Aromatherapy is part of a larger field called phytotherapy, which is plant therapy. True aromatherapy is the skilled use of genuine essential oils for therapeutic purposes. Science, education, and experience show aromatherapy to truly become a holistic art. And Robert Tisserand's definition is aromatherapy is a caring, hands-on therapy which seeks to induce relaxation, to increase energy, to reduce the effects of stress, and to restore lost balance to the mind, body, and soul. So I think those two definitions really, there's some other ones that are really nice, but they're really long. So I didn't choose those for today, but they're in my curriculum. And just very simply, essential oils, they're highly aromatic substances which are found in specialized cells or glands of certain plants. Not all plants are aromatic plants. And when the substance is still in the plant, so these molecules that are still in the plant is referred to as the essence. It's only after distillation where the molecules are extracted from or coaxed out of the plant material that it becomes an essential oil. And as the substances or the molecules, when they're within the plant, they are basically used by the plant for their health. And this is where we get the benefits as well when we have them extracted, is that we can use them for our health. Plants use them for, in particular, protection against predators and also to attract pollinators if they want, depending on the purpose of the plant or the life of the plant. So the benefits of using aromatherapy, and I've geared this workshop mainly to people who are in practice or looking to start a practice, because there's benefits for both the practitioner and I'm going ahead of myself. The benefits overall is our well-being, and the well-being of others. So one of the aspects that make aromatherapy so interesting is the range of principles involved. So on one hand, you have the use of essential oils for their therapeutic actions or their pharmacological action. Okay, so that's similar to allopathic medicine. You have a stomach ache or you have a headache. You can use this essential oil or a combination of these essential oils to help alleviate the pain. Okay, for example. To the other aspect, where the psychotherapeutic aspect of essential oils are used, and that's the scent or the aroma, and that being the vital part that is brought for healing. So I'm just going to stick with, let's just stick to smelling for the moment because we're smelling our lavender, so we can continue to smell our lavender throughout the workshop. When we're inhaling essential oils, it essentially stimulates our olfactory system and our respiratory system. So it actually hits two places. And so the essential oils, not to get too technical, but the essential oils are picked up by molecules in the olfactory bulb, you know, in our nose area and head. And that's the primary organ for smell. It sends information directly to the brain, which is the limbic system and cerebral cortex, which can then quickly influence the nervous system. So if we're sticking with smelling and stress management, we can see how the connection between the nervous system and the limbic system lends to using essential oils in stress management and being effective at it, at reducing stress. So some essential oils are able to speak directly to the nervous system by balancing the nervous system, you know, by way of, so it speaks to, you know, bringing actions like reducing blood pressure or reducing heart palpitations. Some essential oils will have like a sedative action, so it's very calming. So that's where we can get that connection between the nervous system and our sense of smell, and how essential oils can really benefit that. Anatomy and physiology is part of the course, by the way, just as a FYI. The next thing is that the limbic system is considered the seat of our emotions. So when we're inhaling essential oil molecules, it can help with balancing our emotions and our moods. And it can also help, it can also have an influence on our hormones, because the other parts that are involved is the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland of the endocrine system. So this is, you know, all simply by the inhalation of our essential oils. It hits a lot of areas in the body and is great for stress reduction. I tend to attract clients that come to me that are stressed. So I deal with a lot of stress, and I think that's because the reason I got into holistic therapies was because of stress management, or the lack of stress management. You know, we're living in a time, you know, we continue to live in times that are just so busy, you know, and things just seem to get more busier, like every year, every month. It's just busy, busy, busy. We forget to take care of ourselves. And especially when we have families and parents and, you know, siblings that we need to look after, excuse me. So modern living really puts a strain, not only on our minds, but on our bodies as well. So it's sometimes said that, you know, time is a luxury, but, you know, is it? I'm not sure. I think we just don't make enough time for ourselves. But I think when we do, we start to rediscover that as we reduce our stress, or as we help others to reduce their stress, to enjoy emotional renewal, to revitalize our energies, we change how we view the world. And we can see that difference when we're working with people, and whether it be just family and friends, or if you actually work with clients, you'll be able to actually see that change. And this is something that we can support many, many people, including ourselves, because we never want to forget ourselves. And it is very rewarding. I'm just going to say it's rewarding, but it's very fulfilling, and that's what keeps me going, is because I can see the benefits. So the benefits of aromatherapy in practice, and this is where I was going to before. I was skipping ahead way too much, but for the practitioner, so there's benefits for the practitioner and then also benefits for the client. So it's always for both. But for the practitioner, so for ourselves, it is a way to incorporate self-care for ourselves. If we're going to encourage other people to use essential oils in a certain way, I would think that perhaps we're using it in maybe a similar way, or for similar ailments or complaints. Having education builds our confidence. We get to witness improvements and results within ourselves and within our clients. And we get to, aromatherapy is very easy to add into other modalities. So we get to draw in experience or other modalities and kind of mesh them together, which is sometimes it can be such a powerful way to help ourselves or others in our overall well-being. So whether somebody has experience in reflexology or any kind of touch therapy, it's very easy to add aromatherapy in the treatments. Reiki energy work, very easy to add in aromatherapy. But also if you're doing acupuncture, if you have experience in TCM or Ayurveda, still all of those aspects can still incorporate aromatherapy into it to make your practice that much more robust. And then of course, there is the additional revenue stream. So if you want to create products that your clients take home, it does actually produce some extra revenue for you. Sometimes people want to create their own brand of goodies, that sort of thing. There's no limits, and there's so much that you can do with aromatherapy in your practice. For our clients, or if not even for clients, but even for family and friends, it's a way to do really personalized care. And what I mean by that is where we're actually creating a blend for our clients based on their needs and their likes. It's not just something we pick up a synergy blend and say, this is great for headaches. We're actually putting thought and putting intention and creating formulations for people that are going to be therapeutic and work, which is very rewarding as well. It also gives clients empowerment. And by empowerment, I mean, we always want our clients to have an active role in their healing, right? Like it's really up to them. And aromatherapy is very easy to empower clients to take care of themselves. And there's ways that we can, do really easy steps for create really simple products or incorporate aromatherapy very easily into everybody's day-to-day life without having to add more stress to them or another thing for them to do. And that's all covered in the course as well. And then of course we make our clients feel good. Our clients feel good, we feel good. So it's a very, and I just keep wanting to say it's just very rewarding, but it's a great thing to see when people are feeling good and using your products and really where your treatments are really making a difference. So certification, I get this question all the time, is it really necessary? And I'm going to say yes. And I'm a firm believer that certification is really, really important. I started the workshop earlier with my vision, where I said that I wanted to see educated practitioners or users of essential oils. So when I say educated, I mean educated. I mean education that's backed by science, backed by experience, and backed by professionals in the teaching role that meet some kind of standards. It does really provide credibility in the industry, okay? Aromatherapy, the use of essential oils is so easy. It's so easy for people to pick it up off the shelf or order online through an MLM. It's really, really popular. And sometimes this comes with some questionable information if it's not really promoted with integrity. Essential oils are not a quick fix cure, and consumers really shouldn't be led to believe so. And that's my opinion. So I think we need to be transparent with the information. We need to give accurate information. There's a lot of misinformation out there. And I think having a certification brings what's the word that I want to credibility. So I thought I would just talk a little bit about the certification and what the expectation is before, during, and after. So really, even though my course is called the Advanced Aromatherapy Certification course, it doesn't mean that you need to have any prior training. There's no prior experience that's required ahead of time. There is only a willingness to be open and to learn. That's the only requirement. It's the course is the one that's running in September is going to run from September to June. There's going to be bi-weekly live sessions from September to June. And there will also be some self-paced recordings. There's lots of discussion. There's hands-on formulating and practice with case studies. So you get to learn all of the theory, but you actually get to put a lot of practice into throughout the whole course. And of course, then you get one-on-one mentoring with me. So, and I like to have live classes. I didn't create my program to be an online course for a reason. When I took my certification course, it was all in person. So I've kind of done a little bit of a hybrid where, we do theory all online, virtual, or through recordings. But when we are formulating and practicing putting our blends together, we're doing that in person as a class. And that is either in person live, like here at my studio, or live via Zoom, because you do get a kit to practice to make your blends throughout the course. And so what I like about it is with the live sessions is that there's accountability. I guide you through each part of the coursework. I guide you through using appropriate essential oils, so formulating blends that are effective, that are sustainable. You get to collaborate with students, and you get the one-on-one mentoring. So it's a whole package. So, and I find that it's a much more empowering way to learn. I find that the collaboration between students is fantastic because I think I learn better when I'm in a classroom kind of setting. And I think when you're doing parts of it live together in a group, it also makes for a different kind of practitioner. I think it makes you more confident. You get ideas from other people in your class. You may have not have thought to blend certain things together to get an effect, and you get all these great ideas, and you learn from each other, and you bounce ideas. And what the students create is just absolutely fantastic. I think that was definitely part of one of my favorite parts of the courses when I took the certification course myself. So. And that's why I steer away from a fully complete online course, because I think that guidance and that collaboration is a really important piece. And then once you're finished the curriculum, the curriculum is recognized by the Canadian Federation of Aromatherapists. That is the Canadian association here. And when you write the national exam through the CFA, you do get a designation as CAHP, which is the last one here. The CAHP here, Certified Aromatherapy Health Professional. So the next class starts in September. You get live classes until June, but you have 2 years to complete all of the course requirements. So there is the curriculum, there is case studies, there is a research paper, and there's small assignments and small quizzes along the way just to test you against your knowledge. And then there is my school exam before you write the national exam. But the curriculum and the school exam will prepare you very well for writing the national exam.